Every year, hundreds of people are reported missing in national parks and forests.
And this guy lays out a story that they've worked at a series of national parks in their career.
In the heart of Yosemite National Park, amidst its stunning beauty that draws millions of visitors annually, a hidden mystery disrupts its natural splendor. Despite being renowned for its awe-inspiring landscapes, this place harbors events that have deeply unsettled park rangers. Among them, a ranger underwent an experience that profoundly altered his perspective, revealing a dimension beyond the postcard-perfect landscape. As we explore this tale and similar accounts, we aim to uncover the mystery enveloping Yosemite. Are these odd incidents interlinked, or are they simply explicable anomalies? Join us as we explore how Yosemite Park Ranger was never the same after seeing this inexplicable phenomenon. The enigmatic secrets of Yosemite's lost souls. Yosemite National Park is a breathtaking wonderland, a place that lures visitors with its awe-inspiring beauty. However, beyond its natural splendor lies a mysterious shadow, a hidden narrative that whispers of vanished souls, leaving behind a puzzling enigma that defies explanation. These missing individuals didn't just wander off or succumb to natural elements or wild animals. They didn't leave a trace, not a whisper of evidence to hint at their fate. It's as if they were spirited away, swallowed by the very air they breathed, leaving a void where answers should have been. What's truly perplexing is the profile of these missing persons. They were seasoned adventurers, individuals versed in the ways of the wild. They knew the terrain intimately, navigating trails that had been etched into the park's history by countless trekkers before them. Yet, despite this familiarity, they disappeared without a trail or a clue, leaving loved ones and investigators grasping at straws. Decades have passed since some of these disappearances, yet time hasn't cast any light on their whereabouts. No signs emerged, and no remnants were found, shrouding their vanishing in a bizarre and confounding veil. Adding to the intrigue is the fact that many of these vanished souls were not casual tourists, but rather enthusiasts, deeply embedded in outdoor pursuits. Their passion for hiking, camping, and the great outdoors was a part of who they were. And yet, this expertise seemed insufficient to shield them from the inexplicable fate that awaited them within Yosemite's embrace. These inexplicable disappearances aren't isolated incidents either. There have been whispers in the air, of sightings that defy logic, shadows glimpsed where none should be, strange echoes in the stillness, hinting at a presence that eludes comprehension. The mystery doesn't stop at the mere disappearance of these individuals. It extends to the very heart of Yosemite itself. What secrets does this park hold? What lies concealed within its breathtaking vistas and serene landscapes? As the veil of darkness descends upon Yosemite National Park, curiosity and caution dance hand in hand. The allure of its beauty is matched only by the enigmatic shroud that veils its secrets. The questions linger, begging for answers, yet the elusive truth remains just beyond reach, tantalizingly close, yet frustratingly distant. Yosemite National Park, revered for its natural beauty, hides a cryptic tale that chills the heart. A tale of inexplicable disappearances that rank it among the parks with the highest instances of missing persons. The deeper one ventures into its expanse, the stranger and more unsettling the revelations become. Yosemite's history is woven with peculiar sightings, weird experiences, and legends that echo through time, but none are as haunting as the saga of the Vanishing Children, a phenomenon shrouded in supernatural intrigue. The unsettling chronicles found a voice through David Paulides, a retired police officer whose relentless pursuit of truth led to the publication of Missing 411 Western United States and Canada. This comprehensive study delves into the unfathomable, unexplained disappearances of North Americans, a project born from a tip-off by a park ranger. Paulides devoted 4 years and a staggering 9,000 hours to unravel the mysteries behind missing persons, adults, and children alike. Shockingly, some of these occurrences unfolded in broad daylight, in the very presence of family and friends. One of the most confounding revelations from Paulides' research was the revelation of geographical clusters of missing individuals, particularly clusters of children who vanished without a trace from the heart of Yosemite National Park. These cases shared strange similarities that confounded seasoned investigators and left Paulides grappling with unanswered questions. Examining hundreds of cases unveiled perplexing patterns that defied conventional explanation. Consider the following. The majority of missing children were under the age of 10, their disappearance devoid of any signs of struggle. Trained tracking dogs, typically invaluable in search missions, failed to locate or follow the scent trail of these vanished children. In perplexing instances where a scent was traced, it inexplicably led up into the mountains. Such findings raised eyebrows and left gaping voids in comprehension. The young age of the missing children might not surprise, given their curiosity and penchant for exploration. However, their vulnerability to both human and animal predators amplified concerns, especially since no evidence suggested any struggle or resistance. Weather patterns occasionally explained the inability of tracking dogs to follow scents. However, the weather couldn't account for every instance. The question persisted: why would these missing children ascend mountains without a trace, evading the keenest of search dogs? The absence of struggle led to perplexing conclusions. Either no abduction occurred, or the abductors caught the children off guard, a chilling prospect that defied rationalization. The unsettling enigma surrounding Yosemite National Park's vanished souls deepens with each baffling revelation, leaving a haunting echo of unanswered queries. Yosemite's lost children and unearthly journeys. The baffling nature of the missing children cases takes a chilling turn with the discovery of survivors found in locations defying logical explanation. In an interview with KRON 4 News in San Francisco, David Paulides shed light on this confounding aspect, painting a picture that defies conventional understanding. He recounted instances where toddlers, aged merely 2 or 3, were discovered a staggering 10 to 15 miles away from where they were last seen. Equally confounding were cases where these young children were found a jaw-dropping 5,000 feet higher in elevation than their disappearance point. For any parent, this revelation sparked incredulity. How could a child cover such vast distances or scale such heights in the period they were missing? Paulides encapsulated the perplexity of these findings by emphasizing the sheer improbability of such movements. A parent's intuition rebels against the notion that their child could traverse such distances or ascend to such heights within the time frame of their disappearance. The incongruence between the geographical disparities and the capabilities of these young children defies all rational explanations. These inexplicable revelations inject a bizarre undertone into an already mysterious narrative. The incongruity between the geographical placements of these found survivors and the limitations of their age and physical abilities deepens the enigma surrounding the vanished children of Yosemite National Park, casting a shadow of inexplicability over this haunting saga. The mysteries surrounding the missing children of Yosemite National Park take a surreal turn, with the inexplicable locations where some survivors are discovered. What confounds search efforts is the discovery of these survivors in areas that had been meticulously searched multiple times by extensive search parties. Even seasoned outdoors enthusiasts find themselves dumbfounded by the sheer distance these children traverse, often across rugged terrains and in adverse weather conditions. In some cases, missing children were found on the opposite side of mountain ranges, a feat that defies logic and challenges the boundaries of possibility. Les Stroud, renowned as Survivor Man, attempted to replicate a child's potential nighttime journey in a notable Oregon missing child case. However, even with his expertise, he admitted, "I couldn't do this. This isn't right. The kid didn't do this on his own." The discrepancy between the capabilities of these children and the distances covered remains a confounding mystery that defies rational explanation. Adding to the enigma are the accounts of the children who survived these inexplicable ordeals. Some recount encounters with friendly bears or large wolves who purportedly looked after them. While skepticism abounds regarding these paranormal theories, the narratives offered by these survivors persist, adding layers of intrigue to an already perplexing tale. The unresolved cases within America's national parks, particularly those within Yosemite, cast a shadow that gives pause to even the most adventurous souls. The sheer inexplicability of these incidents raises compelling questions and prompts a reassessment of what's possible within these hallowed landscapes. David Paulides' relentless pursuit of truth sparked a petition urging national parks to better track missing individuals. Despite these efforts, the inexplicable happenings continue to haunt the park, leaving an unsettling air of uncertainty that lingers within its serene beauty. The need for change is evident, But as the mysteries persist, the very fabric of reality within these natural wonders is called into question. The allure of exploration is tempered by the chilling realization that within the pristine beauty of America's national parks, there exists a labyrinth of unsolved enigmas and unexplained vanishings that may give anyone pause before embarking on their adventure. Now, this is the point in the narrative where a compelling twist occurs: the unresolved case of Joel Thomasson. Joel Thomasson, a 31-year-old resident of Daner, embarked on a hike on September 6th, commencing from the Hetch Hetchy Reservoir, aiming to trek approximately 9 miles to reach Lake Eleanor. Initially planning to conclude his journey by September 9th, encompassing a 3-day trip, concern arose when he was reported missing on that Saturday. Yosemite National Park officials swiftly released details about his disappearance, including his physical description, approximately 5 feet 10 inches tall, sporting a buzz cut with brown hair, and the belongings he carried: a yellow and gray backpack, a green sleeping bag, a blue and green hammock, and a red inflatable kayak. Immediate calls were made for anyone who had been in the vicinity of Miguel Meadow, Lake Eleanor, or the trails surrounding the Hetch Hetchy Reservoir to alert authorities if they possessed any information regarding his whereabouts. Despite the extensive search efforts initiated by Yosemite's search and rescue teams, no traces of Joel Thomasson were discovered. Amanda Thomasson, his wife, took to social media divulging that at least 16 National Park Service search and rescue members, accompanied by trained dogs, dedicated their efforts to finding her missing husband. The entire Tuolumne County community rallied behind the search, deploying equipment, helicopters, kayaks, and boats in a collective attempt to scour the area where he was last seen. Despite these concerted efforts, as of 2023, Joel Thomasson remains unaccounted for. Speculation arose about the potential scenarios behind his disappearance. The narrative, mirroring that of numerous missing hikers within national parks, provoked questions about the likelihood of foul play, an accidental fall, or an encounter with wildlife. The puzzle deepened given the presence of seasoned search personnel and the constant influx of outdoor enthusiasts within Yosemite National Park, where the trail from Hetch Hetchy to Lake Eleanor isn't secluded. This heightened the perplexity surrounding Thomasson's disappearance, as it was improbable that he could have ventured off unnoticed into the remote wilderness, surrounded by a bustling trail frequented by fellow hikers. The unexplained disappearance of individuals within such well-traversed areas defies conventional understanding. Despite the comprehensive search efforts, the lack of any clues or traces raises baffling questions, further entwining Thomasson's vanishing into the enigmatic fabric of the thousands who have disappeared without a discernible trail. Adding to the enigma are the safety measures typically adhered to within national parks. Yosemite National Park, renowned for its natural beauty, draws in a continuous stream of visitors, ensuring that its trails are well documented and frequently traversed. Thus, the absence of any evidence or indications of Thomasson's presence stands as a baffling anomaly within the context of such a monitored and trafficked landscape. The possibility of a person simply vanishing without a trace amid the routine flow of outdoor enthusiasts remains a confounding mystery. While theories abound, from accidental missteps to more ominous circumstances, the inexplicable nature of these disappearances within the confines of familiar and frequented trails perpetuates the intrigue and perplexity surrounding Joel Thomasson's unresolved case. That's not all. Decoding the puzzle of Michael Vicary's wilderness fate. In the summer of 2005, Michael Vicary, a seasoned 51-year-old hiker renowned for his outdoor expertise, embarked on a challenging 4-day solo trek in Yosemite National Park's north side, tracing a trail from the Hetch Hetchy Reservoir. His ambitious itinerary included Rancheria Falls, Tiltil Mountain, Lake Vernon, and the Beehive, before retracing his steps to conclude at the reservoir. However, June 19th marked his expected return, and when Vicary failed to reappear as scheduled, concerns deepened. The turning point arrived when Vicary's permit expired on the same day he was due back, intensifying the worry surrounding his disappearance. His family, alarmed by his absence, promptly notified park authorities on June 21st, prompting an extensive search operation encompassing the entire vicinity around the reservoir and the Pacific Crest Trail. Despite the concerted efforts of search and rescue teams spanning multiple counties, including the deployment of canine units, aircraft, and comprehensive search equipment, their endeavors yielded no traces of Vicary. However, a glimmer of hope emerged amidst the mystery. Near Tiltil Mountain, just off the trail, a backpack was discovered, presumed to belong to Vicary. The contents, comprising a topographical map, a water bottle, and a camera suggested its probable ownership. This discovery sparked renewed vigor in the search, heightening expectations of finding further clues. Regrettably, apart from the located backpack, no other evidence materialized, leaving the investigation at a standstill. Fast forward to 2023, nearly 18 years since Vicary's disappearance, and the veil of ambiguity remains intact. Despite exhaustive search efforts and the passage of time, no additional remnants or traces have surfaced. The enigma surrounding his inexplicable vanishing persists, joining the unsettling roster of unresolved disappearances within national parks. Vicary's case, much like others, mirrors a disconcerting pattern where experienced hikers, well-versed in outdoor survival skills, seemingly evaporate without a trace. The wilderness of Yosemite National Park, despite its beauty and allure, serves as an unforgiving backdrop to these confounding incidents, challenging the conventional understanding of safety within monitored and traversed trails. Timothy John Barnes's unsettling Yosemite vanishing. The disappearance of Timothy John Barnes in 1988 from Tanaya Lakes near Highway 120 East to Tioga Road in California remains a mystery. At just 25 years old, Timothy set out on a hiking trip from Murphy Creek Trailhead to Polydome Lakes in Yosemite National Park. Unfortunately, he never returned from this trek, sparking a search that yielded no clues or leads to his whereabouts. Cases like Timothy's often raise concerns about potential human trafficking elements, a harrowing reality that certainly exists. However, the puzzling aspect is how individuals can vanish without a trace, especially amid well-known trails or areas where other hikers, campers, or park personnel are present. The sheer absence of sightings or evidence complicates these disappearances significantly. Despite diligent efforts from friends, park rangers, and search and rescue services, the extensive search following Timothy's disappearance yielded no sign of him. Days turned into weeks, months, and eventually years without any breakthrough. Finally, on July 19, 1992, after years of fruitless searching, Timothy was legally declared dead. His family, like many others enduring similar heartache, faced the grim reality of never finding closure regarding his fate. Nearly 30 years have passed since Timothy declared death, and yet no traces of him or his remains have surfaced. For families of missing persons like Timothy, the unresolved absence remains a lingering ache, a lack of closure that perpetuates a haunting void. The inexplicable nature of such disappearances adds to the tragedy, leaving loved ones and investigators perplexed and grappling with the unanswered questions surrounding these cases. Despite ongoing efforts and advancements in search techniques, Timothy John Barnes remains among the countless individuals who have vanished without a trace, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and unanswered questions. The enigma of George Pinka's hike. In July 2011, George Pinka, a 30-year-old visitor from Hawthorne, California, vanished under perplexing circumstances while hiking at Upper Yosemite Falls in Yosemite National Park. He was part of a sizable church group comprising around 80 individuals, with approximately 20 of them trekking the Upper Yosemite Fall Trail on the fateful day. As the group ascended, they eventually splintered at the summit, with some members gradually descending back to the campsite. George seemed to have potentially fallen behind the main group. When George failed to return to the camp, initial assumptions within his circle of friends suggested that he might have hiked back to the Yosemite Valley floor earlier. However, growing concern ensued as the evening approached, and no word was heard from him by 9 p.m. George's inexplicable disappearance, amid a bustling trail frequented by numerous hikers that day, left the group stunned. He stood out as the sole missing individual from the church group, evaporating without a trace. The paradox of his disappearance stemmed from the vibrant activity on the trail that day, bustling with a constant flow of people. The improbability of George falling or being taken unnoticed was accentuated by the trail's busy nature. His last known attire consisted of gray sweatpants with white stripes, a black t-shirt, gray and blue running shoes, and a blue cloth bag carrying minimal provisions. Following his reported disappearance, an extensive search operation was launched, drawing over 100 search and rescue personnel from various regions across the state. The search involved meticulous efforts, employing helicopters, trained dogs, and teams from at least 7 or 8 surrounding counties. Despite the exhaustive search endeavors covering the Upper Falls Trail and its surroundings, the outcome mirrored the baffling pattern observed in other missing persons cases. No trace of George Pinka was found. The frustration of the search and rescue teams echoed the confounding nature of George's vanishing act. The utilization of advanced resources, combined with the sheer volume of people present on the trail, seemingly offered favorable conditions for discovery. However, the absence of any tangible clues persisted, leaving a void in the investigation. As the weeks elapsed, the fervent search efforts diminished, ultimately ceasing after one intensive week. In the 11 years since George Pinka's inexplicable disappearance, no leads, remains, personal effects, or sightings have surfaced, intensifying the haunting aura surrounding his case. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Yosemite Park ranger was never the same after seeing this. In a surprising twist, a 24-year-old man, brought up in a strict Catholic home with strong moral principles, recounts a frightening experience at Yosemite Falls with his girlfriend. Despite not believing in the paranormal or Sasquatch, their perspective changes dramatically during this hike. Familiar with the area, they hike the Upper Falls Trail near Snow Creek. On a clear day around 4 to 4:30 p.m., they hear an ear-shattering scream, described as a deep guttural roar, from about 100 feet to their left. Startled, they see a large, man-like figure standing behind a tree. The figure is pitch black, over 8 feet tall, covered in reddish-brown, unkempt fur, muscular, with a massive cone-shaped head and no visible face due to the sun's position. Frightened, they believe it could be a Sasquatch, possibly territorial or aggressive. The man speculated that the creature didn't like their presence and screamed in response. Despite not understanding why it happened, the encounter convinced him that Bigfoot or Sasquatch is real and can be terrifying when threatened. This experience challenges their previous skepticism and opens their eyes to the existence of mysterious and frightening phenomena. Let us know what you think about what we just showed you. The unseen forces of Yosemite's haunted territories. The history of Yosemite National Park indeed carries a weird and tragic tale, intertwined with the unsettling legend of the Tanaya Canyon. When settlers arrived in Yosemite Valley, they encountered the Ahwahnee, a Native American tribe known for their peaceful ways, yet occasionally engaging in livestock theft from the newcomers. As tensions simmered in the 1850s, attempts to relocate the Ahwahnee to a reservation outside Fresno, California, met resistance. Led by Chief Tanaya, the tribe refused to comply with the eviction order. When armed men under Captain John Bowling were dispatched to enforce the relocation, the outcome turned dire. Instead of yielding, the Ahwahnee chose defiance, leading to tragic violence that claimed the life of Chief Tanaya's son. In the aftermath of this harrowing confrontation, Chief Tanaya, consumed by grief and fury, is said to have invoked a curse upon the valley, specifically targeting the white settlers who had caused such anguish. Legend holds that Tanaya's words carried a weighty prophecy, marking the genesis of an ominous curse that echoed through Tanaya Canyon and reverberated across Yosemite Valley. Since that fateful invocation, tales have circulated of strange occurrences within the canyon and the broader Yosemite landscape. Locals and visitors alike recount tales of inexplicable and unfortunate incidents, a litany of strange deaths, freak accidents, and bizarre mishaps that seem to defy logical explanation. Whispers persist of unexplained noises resonating through the canyons and sightings of shadowy apparitions lurking amidst the rugged terrain. The legend of Tanaya Canyon has perpetuated a chilling narrative, a spectral veil shrouding the region with an aura of mystery and foreboding. Some attribute the series of peculiar and tragic events to the curse invoked by Chief Tanaya, a haunting legacy that casts an unsettling pall over Yosemite's natural beauty. Despite scientific rationale attempting to dispel such tales as mere folklore, the inexplicable occurrences continue to fuel the enduring mystique of Tanaya Canyon and Yosemite Valley, inviting speculation and inspiring cautionary whispers among those who traverse its storied grounds. Whether rooted in folklore or a darker reality, the legend of the curse lingers as an enigmatic element in the park's rich fabric of history and intrigue. The foreboding reputation of the Tanaya area within Yosemite National Park has garnered a chilling distinction. It's purportedly home to a disproportionately high number of rock climbing mishaps, hiking accidents, and tragic fatalities. So prevalent are these incidents that the area has earned a spine-tingling moniker, the Bermuda Triangle of Yosemite. This unsettling reputation isn't confined to tales and legends. Even the esteemed naturalist and seasoned mountaineer John Muir encountered peril within Tanaya Canyon. In 1873, Muir narrowly escaped a near-fatal incident while exploring this rugged terrain. Such stories of perilous encounters have woven a sinister mystique around this notoriously hostile and challenging landscape. The treacherous nature of Tanaya Canyon is widely acknowledged, boasting some of the park's most unforgiving terrain. Its rocky, imposing features contribute to an environment where disappearances, fatal accidents, and tragic deaths seem tragically frequent. Whether attributed to an actual curse or simply the daunting landscape, the area's reputation for peril is undeniably stark. Adding to the area's weird aura are the tales of allegedly haunted sites scattered throughout Yosemite National Park. The former Ahwahnee Hotel, ironically named after the tribe associated with the cursed legend, stands out as a particularly notorious location. Renamed the majestic Yosemite Hotel in recent years, it was established in 1927 near Half Dome, representing a departure from the park's traditional camping and modest lodge accommodations. The chilling presence of Yosemite's shadow entity. In 2011, an anonymous park ranger referred to as Steven encountered a baffling and weird sight during his nightly patrol in Yosemite Valley. It was around 11:10 p.m., a memory etched vividly due to the image on his dashboard. As he drove along Northside Drive, he spotted a figure moving in the distance, initially assuming it to be a hiker needing assistance. However, as he approached, his expectation of a person in need turned into a chilling experience. The figure, unlike any regular person, lacked definition. Typically from a distance, one could discern clothing, facial features, or at least some defining human attributes. But this figure was different. It appeared as a black, shadowy mass, human in shape but devoid of any distinct characteristics. As Steven strained to see in the moonlit night, the figure seemed to slowly levitate and glide toward his direction. Horrified and utterly shocked, Steven could only watch as this indescribable figure advanced about 25 feet before dissipating into nothingness. He was left in a state of confusion and disbelief, questioning his sanity. Upon returning to the ranger station, he quietly sought solace in a cup of coffee, grappling with the surreal experience, hesitant to share for fear of being dismissed as crazy. However, Steven's encounter wasn't isolated. The following day, he encountered hikers and tourists who recounted similar experiences with a mysterious black figure causing distress among campers. An older couple had been unnerved as the shadowy entity attempted to peer into their camper and rattle their doors throughout the night. Another woman, a mother of 3, described seeing a similar figure with red glowing eyes, emanating an unsettling sense of malevolence. The details Steven gathered from these witnesses aligned remarkably, indicating the possibility that they had all encountered the same enigmatic, shadowy entity. Despite this alignment, Steven hesitated to disclose his experience widely, fearing ridicule or disbelief. The accounts from various witnesses painted a haunting picture of a dark figure devoid of features yet eliciting fear and discomfort. The incidents occurred in the same general area, suggesting a singular presence haunting multiple individuals. Steven's reluctance to share his story stemmed from the fear of being branded as irrational. To this day, he grapples with the memory, hesitant to discuss it openly. The mystery of the shadowy figure remains, leaving those who encountered it questioning the boundaries of reality and the unknown lurking within Yosemite Valley. A ranger's encounter with Yosemite's otherworldly being. Kit, a former volunteer ranger in Yosemite from 2014 to 2016, encountered an inexplicable and terrifying creature during an evening patrol in the Tuolumne Meadows. It was a serene spring evening around 8 or 9 p.m. The light was fading, necessitating the use of headlights as she and a fellow ranger navigated the meadows in their Jeep. As they drove, they noticed movement near a grove of trees adjacent to the road. Initially, they assumed it might be wildlife emerging. However, what emerged wasn't anything they had ever encountered before. A massive creature, about 5 feet tall on all fours, appeared from the trees. Its appearance was perplexing, resembling a bear but with distinct features that deviated from any known animal. This creature had a large head, long brown hair, and unnerving yellow eyes that glowed in the fading light. It resembled a colossal wolf, but with exaggerated proportions, larger and more pronounced, sporting massive front paws that seemed almost hand-like. Its teeth were strikingly sharp and out of place. To Kit and her partner's astonishment, this creature turned towards their headlights, its gaze locking with theirs. It emitted a howl that sent shivers down their spines before slowly retreating, still on all fours, wearing a scowl that conveyed apparent displeasure at being spotted. However, what happened next defied belief. With a wet popping noise, the creature transformed, standing upright on two legs, resembling a werewolf from a nightmare or a scene out of a movie. In this new stance, it towered at least 8 feet tall, a sight so surreal and terrifying that it remains etched in Kit's memory as something beyond ordinary. After standing fully erect, the creature glared at their vehicle one last time before vanishing effortlessly into the woods, leaving Kit and her companions stunned and speechless. Despite her 2 years of experience as a ranger, nothing in her background had prepared her for such an encounter. Kit, raised with exposure to diverse native lore due to her mixed heritage, had entertained the possibility of such creatures existing, but had never fully believed it until that chilling night. Her reticence to share the experience widely stemmed from the fear of being dismissed as crazy, a sentiment shared by many other rangers who might have encountered similar inexplicable phenomena. The profound encounter left Kit and her friend hesitant to discuss it openly, grappling with the fear of being labeled as irrational. For Kit, it affirmed the existence of beings beyond conventional understanding, challenging the boundaries of reality and stirring a belief in the tales and legends she grew up hearing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.